Hello everyone, this is Bobo the Vulture, and unfortunately I've taken a couple of minutes away, and as a result I'm in second place. So yep, that was the Venturi, and he did get in front of me. I've got to hope I haven't lost my rhythm too much here. As you may have gathered, this enduro was slightly longer than I was anticipating. Or it's going to take slightly longer than I anticipated. By about an hour. I think I might have a nice 1 hour enduro. This is going to be a nice 2 hour enduro. Roughly. And I imagine it would be possible to do it in less time. Sure it would. Had a faster car, a better driver, I'd be able to get it done in not half the time, but certainly way, way less time. I'm not even especially close to this joker right now. Because I'm a lot closer than I was the last lap. Well, not that much closer, actually. But hopefully we can fix this. By the way, this is Bobo the Vulture. This is Let's Play Gran Turismo 2. Don't remember how full of an introduction I gave coming into this because I was sort of getting straight back into the action. I would like to be done with this video in not too long an amount of time, which I know won't happen. I know it's going to take roughly an hour. Not because I necessarily have someplace to be, but just because I know when I have to be up tomorrow morning. You know, because you have a job, you have to be up at roughly the same time every morning. You have your alarm set. I imagine it's the same if you're going to school. Well, what do I mean? I imagine it's the same. I went to school once too, you know, back in the olden times, and I had to set an alarm clock in order to get to school. That's where I'll lose it. That's where I'll lose time. Tail fishing out like that. Tell me, is that you in there? It's not. It's some other person. You know, this thing, I have trained myself to never ever attempt to brake while going up that, oh geez, oh geez, oh geez, that hill in Grand Valley. The sort of curve leading out to the hairpin, the turn, the first big hairpin right there. After the start finish, to not just sort of brake straight for it, but try and brake a little bit ahead of time. Get the car sort of set. This car actually seemed to be, and maybe it's just because the tires are fresh, so maybe I shouldn't try and get in the habit of doing it all the time. This car seemed willing to just sort of brake. I know it won't do that all the time, because obviously I have tried braking too late for that in this car many times, and it hasn't worked. So yes, I suppose it's probably been a few days for all of you folks. How did you enjoy the 24 hours of Le Mans if you watched it? How did you enjoy it if you didn't, I guess, is also a question that could be asked. Probably you didn't enjoy them in quite the same way if you did not watch them. Yeah, I swear that guy goes off track and yet somehow doesn't lose pace there. That doesn't seem right. Or maybe he is losing pace and that's the only reason that we're still keeping track here. Now, for you guys, it's been a couple of days. What have I done in between the last video and right now? Well, went upstairs to the kitchen, as I may have mentioned in the past. The sort of den area I have set up for LPing in this particular abode is in the basement area. The bottom floor. It opens up to the outside too. It's not necessarily a dank, horrible place. And it's not like a separate basement apartment thing. Notice a lot of real estate around here. People do that. They're like, I want to rent out my basement as another apartment. Come, live in my basement. It's not sort of lightless and like devoid of natural light and depressing at all. I tried to follow his line. It wasn't a good line, and yet he didn't seem to suffer from it, so I thought maybe I wouldn't suffer from it, and I'm suffering from it. Is he just riding it so fine he's blowing my mind in that turn? Yeah, no, he just seems to be so close to the edge there, but it still works for him. Oh, darn it. I was about to say, hey, that was a clean and fair pass, and then I realized I didn't set myself up to exit the corner properly. Rookie mistake. I won't make it here, because here it's obviously just going to be, like, bumping into each other and stuff. Yeah, look at the corner exits he gets out around here. Now I gotcha. You little sucker. You little fuddrucker, you. Alright, so, yeah, went upstairs to the kitchen. Because, I know, this is taking slightly longer than I had anticipated. So I needed a light snack. Got up to the kitchen to find out that, a container that was pretty much empty, had been knocked over onto the floor, upside down. So thank you to the Zachary Dean and Bumper for that. And then when I attempted to go into the fridge to get bread, because yes, bread is kept in the fridge here, I don't necessarily mean to say that like, oh man, what a bunch of crazies I'm living with, because it makes sense, to a certain extent. The air, the cold, yeah, it's a humidity-controlled environment. But anyways, yes. Knocked over a container of Greek yogurt that had been sort of placed precariously on top of other stuff, as will happen in fridges. We all know containers of things. Sometimes things will be placed on top of other things in a way that, if you're not careful, will get knocked over. Greek yogurt, the lid comes off of it, and it lands face down as well. Actually, no, it landed face up. Or landed face down and then bounced. Yeah, basically it was in a way that, like, it was okay, but still it was a container of Greek yogurt, and it opened and fell. It fell, and the lid was off of it, but at the same time, somehow none of the Greek yogurt... Well, not none, some, obviously. Had to get cleaned up off of the floor. Ugh. Adventures in Greek yogurt sitting, I tell ya. Not even my Greek yogurt. So, speaking of Greek yogurt, one of those things, as you may be aware, there are many different types of culinary delights that I seem to hear more about it specifically from the European Union. I don't know if it's they have a specific sanctioning body to make determinations in it. But food that's named after particular regions. Like a lot of people have heard about how champagne that is not actually from the Champagne region of France is actually like sparkling white wine or cider or something, I don't know. It's sparkling white wine. It's technically not champagne because it's not from Champagne. Oh yes, he's going in for tires. Sucker. If that was him. Might have been somebody else that I just wasn't even noticing that I passed. That went in for tires. But Greek yogurt is one of those things that they're like, no, you shouldn't be allowed to call this Greek yogurt just because of the consistency or style of it versus other yogurts. You should only be able to call it Greek yogurt if it's coming from Greece. Which I sort of get. There's a fight against it. in places, obviously, where they produce Greek yogurt type yogurts that are not in Greece. Apparently, it's big business in New York. The state, not the city. Um, which I never quite realized. I lived in New York State for a number of years, in the western part of the state, which is where I got my semi-affiliation for the Buffalo Bills football franchise. This was the early 90s. Basically the early 90s, and it's sort of all of my football impressions are based off of that time period. The repeated Super Bowl runs and losses of the Buffalo Bills, and of course Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl, in which the Bills are powerhouses. And you go through and look at the AFC All-Stars team, half of it's the Bills. It's the Bills with a light dusting in of other players. But yeah, it's I spent some time there, but I don't remember yogurt. Around where we were, there were a number of vineyards. People like to raise grapes in New York. I'm surprised at the various different places, because like I'm thinking about it now. I'm kind of surprised that people were doing it, because generally you hear about grapes, they're being grown in the Mediterranean or in a Mediterranean-style climate, like Southern California or even Central California, coastal environment that is fairly temperate year-round. Oh boy. If only that were the case in the East Coast as well. My gosh. DC summer's the worst. I mean, I'm sort of out of shape and heavy and all that stuff, and I'll grant you that, but it is not that that's making me like turn into a giant ball of nasty sweat after just walking a couple of blocks outside in summertime in DC. That's not what it is. That's not the thing that's doing it, no. Alright, so these tires are about shot. And I get the feeling, yeah, that when I stop right here, jeez. If I even get the chance, if the Venturi doesn't catch up with me before I reach the pit stop, definitely going to pass me in the pits. Yeah, he's catching up fast. He's starting to come around to the point where he has good tires, where I'm on my dire tires. Also, I get the feeling I'm running much worse than usual. So, okay, he's basically consistently a little bit faster than me. But I am going to stop one less time than he is, based on our current patterns. Yeah, he's right back there. He's breathing down my neck. He's going to pass me almost instantly here. He's going to pass me before I even have the tires on. Here he goes. Check the number change. Oh, that was a lapper. Well, this will be him anyways. Second. Venturi! Bastard! Okay. Oh, this is not the best way to start. No. Do not ruin it now just because... Alright, 11.2. Probably only check at the start to finish, or the same place consistently every lap. Otherwise, I'm going to start obsessing over the idea that I'm faster in one section and sector. I'm going to gain in one sector and lose in another and be like, oh my god, what am I doing? This is still tense for me. I don't know about you guys. That's the thing, Gran Turismo, once you get the hang of it, it shouldn't, generally speaking, be hard. Because in most cases, the exception of one particular historic challenge that I can think of, they make it easy for you to be able to get a car that's just overpowered and will trounce everyone ever. There's a good way through that hairpin. And coming up on a car, it's not the car that I need to pass. It is a lapper. Hasn't been that much lap traffic in this run around. Oh boy. That was a little late, but thankfully the tires are good enough that I paid for it, I guess, a little bit out of their life and not out of actually literally going off. So, either I got away with it completely because the tires are so great, or I've just scrubbed more life out of the tires than I would have ordinarily. I don't really know how carefully and closely the tire monitoring, like the tire wear, like simulation goes in this game, or in any of them really. Oh, it just occurred to me, this is probably supposed to be the special challenge just for European cars. I'm being a terrible person by interloping with this Japanese car. But they never told me the rules. How am I to know? Who am I to blow against the wind? Alright. What may end up happening here is that I'll continue to lap and slowly but surely get ever closer to this guy. And then marvel as he pits just before I catch him. Which I guess I wouldn't be that upset about. But yeah, basically, need to be on alert for a number of things here. First of all, I need to be worried about him when he's pitting, need to be careful of my tires, watching what laps we're on, all that sort of thing. Also need to be sure to stay awake. It's getting very near my bedtime. I usually don't like to LP like right before when I ordinarily go to bed. As it is, this LP with its extra long duration will put me really right up against the official "dang, I stayed up way too late" time that I will sometimes see. It's not what I would call my bedtime, because honestly I would call my bedtime sometime before that. Because my freaking word, I have a bad tendency of staying up too late, not getting enough sleep. Bobo the night owl. I'm a different bird this time. It's crazy. I'm a bird of a different feather. Stop screwing up, Bobo. Why did I just say about falling asleep behind the wheel? / PlayStation controller. Well, I feel like that may have eaten my tires alive, but it was probably a pretty fast way through that sector. Occurs to me the worm is turned now. Previously, that guy, this dreaded rival mobile, the lead car, in his Venturi, was catching up to me and making me feel the fool as I was heading into my pit stop. It occurs to me now I'm catching up to him and making him nervous, and he's probably going to stop here pretty soon himself. Too far again, but I'm alright. I need to be as careful as all that. And that certainly got myself thrown off for that. Geez, I'm sliding the car way too much. It's not good for it. It's not good for me. It's not good for all parties involved. You know, this is an interesting thing about racing. You can, you can see that a car is in first place and think to yourself, oh, well, it's not really leading the race, or he's not really going to be the car that wins in the end. Or, you know, that guy is doomed. Not necessarily that you're doomed, my friend, just that I will have your first place. I will have it. There is no question. Like, I don't know how long, alright, was that a bad thing to have done? I mean, yes. Well, he's recovered at least as well as I have, it seems like. And this had been an epic duel of spirit and honor. Yeah, so this is all pretty good still, all the same. Once I'm ahead of him, I got it. That obviously hasn't been true for this entire race. And I wouldn't be able to go back and tabulate all the lead changes. I'd be curious as to how much of this race I've spent in first place. Because, you know, there have certainly been races in the past where one person led almost an entire race and ended up losing. They're running out front. Look how awesome I am. I mean, heck, Michael Andretti almost made a habit of it at the Indy 500 for much of his career. Never won the Indy 500 as a driver. As a team owner, he's done it, but that's a different point. Oh, he stopped for his tires. Basically, you just need to not screw this up now. I know, I've been saying that this entire race. Don't screw it up, Bobo. Don't screw it up. Quit being such a screw-up, Bobo. Pay your bills on time. Keep track of your finances. Find a better job. Yeah, this is not actually, they're not actually the deep, dark-seated fears of Bo and Vulture, folks. I'm pretty good. Don't worry about old Bobo. What about old Bobo? Did he scare you? With his dark talk about failures in life? Darn. Had it going so well. Just got a little overconfident. I don't know, is it overconfidence? The thing is, you don't want to brake so much that then you're sort of stopped before you need to turn in, and then what do? You just sort of like glide along a little bit. That's pretty nice through those S's. Through that S. Okay. Just stay out of trouble. And you should be okay. Hold, Bobo. If anything, you're building your gap right now. Just bear in mind, that's going okay, Bobo. Just keep it on the gray. You'll be hell to pay. Oh no, there's hell to pay. I went off slightly. I got this. We got this together, folks. Remember those long stints with me in second place? I am somewhat hopeful those days are gone. Without knowing for certainty. So, you know, be joyful and happy. Full of praise and hallelujahs. Hallelujahs for me and youjas. Yeah, here we go. 159. Although my best lap is 4 seconds faster than that, I've definitely gone downhill through the course of this event. You know, considering this is right before a tire change lap, it's, well, okay, that was a bad treatment of that turn. And that following up on it was a bad treatment of a turn. I was going to say it was pretty clean. Well, moment of truth time here coming up. I think no matter what, we can still make this work as a big victory. As a big chalk up in the W column. But I want to see whether or not we can get in and out of a pit stop without losing our lead. It's going to be a big, big ask. I had a good lead built up. I'm not sure it was enough. I guess it depends. Is this guy a lapper or is this guy the Venturi? I'll come in here and they'll be like, no, you've used all the tires you're allowed. Nope, that was the Venturi. Alright. We're gonna catch this sucker one more time. We got 10 laps. We got 10 laps to try and do something about this. Will we be able to catch him? Or is he gonna go duck into the pit lane like a chicken? Ex-chicken. Do you guys remember, I think it was Tekken, the original Tekken, where, there was like a sort of, as a bonus, there was like a beat-em-up style mode in addition to the, like, 3D fighting-y thing. And, like any sort of beat-em-up, you would, find random food in objects. I don't remember if they were like barrels or what, but like you would find food in the ground and you would pick it up and gain health from it. And in this particular instance it was chicken, and when you picked it up the narrator would say chicken. Does anybody else remember Tekken? Anybody else remember that particular detail? Or is this a fever dream that I shared with a few close friends? I think Kalis might remember it. A good buddy who does not LP. Or two, might also. Alright, can I catch up to this guy? If I can't catch up to him and he's not going to stop again, this will be an embarrassment. Oh, we've done all of this racing around for nothing. Well, for your entertainment, hopefully. I hope that win or lose, you guys still find Bobo the Vulture greatest Let's Play entertainment. Oh. I'm not sure that I even believe I'm the greatest Let's Play entertainment of all, but, you know, feel free to have a higher opinion of me than I do. I basically just think you find somebody who is playing something that they enjoy, and they do a good job of enjoying it with you, and you're golden. Hopefully, they aren't just sort of breezing through and not speaking about things, because that can be a little bit irksome. And hopefully they're not trying too hard. Sometimes LPers will try too hard to be entertaining. A lot of times that will turn into, like, having exaggerated reactions to a game, whether or not they're exaggerations to how, like, scary the game is, or how bad the game is, and they say lots of derogatory things about it, like, this game is poopy on a poopy platter. Oh boy. I do not appreciate the amount of time in this race I've spent in second place. Alright, just gotta make good laps here. I see him up there. I have enough laps to do it. I just need to keep calm. Keep hitting my marks. That's the thing they'll tell them. Keep hitting your marks, by which they mean things like, you know, hit your brake points. Also, a lot of times when they're talking about hitting your marks, they mean hitting fuel marks, because they're talking about making certain fuel economy numbers. Because if you can be very economical with your fuel, you might not have to spend as much time getting refueled in pits. Fuel economy is not simulated in Gran Turismo 2, nor do I think it's simulated in any of the Gran Turismo games. It might come up in 5? I don't know. It's one of those things like tires. If it did come up, I never tempted fate, and was like, what would happen if you just kept going, even though clearly simulation was trying to tell you, no, no more. I'm not going to catch up with them on the straight here, but I'm going to catch up with them. We take very different lines with that turn, you and I. I will say, it's very convenient that sort of just running off the road in that one spot sort of effectively serves as braking. Yes, over, under, back, forth. I got this, though. Don't think you can beat me. Because unless you master how can, you can never beat me. Anybody remember Art of Fighting? I think it was Art of Fighting is the one I'm thinking of. It's the one that that Ryo Sakazaki or whatever it was from. And Robert Garcia. They were your two protagonists. Protagonists. Kind of a weird fear line, isn't it? Protagonists! Oh no, you're heroes! I'm not gaining a whole lot of ground that way. That's alright. I'm in first. It'd be nice to build a gap, but as long as I just don't let him pass, I have won, because I am in first. That's how first works. I feel like you already know how first works. I'm trying to explain it to you like you're overly simple. Seems almost mean. I apologize. Yeah, maybe I was just meaning to add emphasis. I didn't think you didn't actually know how finishing first meant that you won. In terms of a race. Obviously there are other things and contests and events in life where finishing first may not be the way to win. Lady. No, 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 not going into that whole realm. Or maybe I just did. Either way, I am hopeful that this loser is gonna stop for tires and I won't have to worry about it. Looks like that's what he's doing, actually. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Now I just need to reap my reward of driving along patiently to the big W. That was kind of nice. That went well. Yeah. So, alright. My apologies, I'm a little tired, but I should be very excited now that, that other car. Wow. Apparently it doesn't matter how much I vie with him back and forth, I'll never remember the name of that car. What'll turn out to be very amusing is the idea that I have been calling it the wrong thing this entire time without realizing it. So you, whatever car you are, you also take the crazy line. You appear to be an RUF slash Porsche. I believe it's now official, and Porsche has the second best history, winning overall in Le Mans. The 24 hours of Le Mans will probably have happened by the time this goes live. I am performing this video slash running this race before Le Mans happened, but in 2013 and the decade before that, I believe Audi won 12 of the last 15 at 24 hours of Le Mans, dating back to like 2000. No, dating back to even before then. Maybe it was 10 of the last 12. They basically lost 2 years. 1 year they lost to Bentley, which is kind of silly because it was sort of corporate infighting, and basically earlier Audi designs had a lot of influence on the Bentley. And 1 year they lost to Peugeot, which really honestly sort of almost downplays the amount of rivalry and effort that went into Audi versus Peugeot. Because Bentley just returned to racing for like 1 season, just to win Le Mans again. And be like, hey, check it out, Bentley's back. You know, a little PR thing. I don't know if that worked, or if the styling of the new Continental R's, coupes, and now the sedans that are based off of that design Whether or not that's more what did it. Alright. Let's power our way out here. There we go. Zoom, zoom. Alright, only got a few more laps to go. Just don't crunch the car up. And I often say that the last couple of laps, especially if you're leading or doing better than you expected, is when paranoia starts to creep in. You start hearing creaks and rattles in the car you never heard before. You think that it's all gonna blow up in your face. Sometimes it does. Dun dun dun. Yeah, Nissan logos. Nissan, great manufacturer of sports cars and fine maker. No, never won the Le Mans 24 Hours overall. They've tried. There was a big Japanese rivalry in the late 90s, around the time that this game came out, as you could sort of tell from the Toyota GT1 and the, what was the Nissan, the R390? Or R9R, I forget what they're calling it. Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to do... I forgot that I was gonna have to do lap 60. Gonna have to do lap 60 with truly terrible tires. The 3Ts. I think it's better to risk doing that than to take an extra stop here. 2 minutes even. Oh boy. There you go. Now pretty much any time I press the brake button up until the time that the car has had a chance to accelerate significantly after coming out of the turn, or set of turns, it's just gonna make that sound. The tire squealing. Oh, the squeals. Can you squeal like a tire? Now then, will the tires in the car actually explode from performing like this? Will it happen? What do you, the viewers at home, think? Will this last lap become a tragedy for Bobo when he finally finds out that yes, you most certainly can blow up tires in Gran Turismo 2? And one explodes on him in a big, big way. Oh no. Whatever car that is, it better not be him. Car is just persistently understeering now. Can't get any turning out of it. That's him. You know what? I'll take a sloppy last couple of turns if I can still make it. That's him. Just gotta keep it cool for these last... for this last turn. Alright. I got enough momentum. Oh lord, that's close. That's close after this amount of time. Oh wow. 2 seconds. And the CPU can't even drive my car. That's the kind of bad shape it's in. I wonder how well it'll fare over the rest of the lap here. I wonder if it'll... It's gonna go off every turn. I kinda wish I could move all of these other cars out of the way. I also wonder whether or not it's programmed to go in for tires if the car is running this poorly. This video's been long enough and my sleep schedule is already shot enough. I may as well just allow it to go through and see whether or not it tries to pull in. Oh, I'm sorry, rough BTR2. Oh, okay, so the other car that's down there at the bottom is a Turbo Esprit. It was not another Venturi. Yeah. The computer, with my car in the shape that it's in, it's completely incapable of driving it. You gonna come in for tires, buddy? You gonna do it? You can't even stay on the road, man. Oh, but he's gonna do it anyway. Yeah, I'm not watching all that again. Well, let's watch my great rival for a moment. Alright, let's get out of here. Oh my word. We got $500,000, folks. That's good. We were running out of cash. Am I saving the game? You'd better friggin' leave I am saving the game. No way I am not saving this game. And you know what? Since you guys have all been good, I'll go and look and see what prize car we won. And then we'll shut this all off and call it a night, huh? Or a day. You may end up watching this when it first gets posted. And that may be in the late morning, early afternoon. It really all depends. I have no idea when this will go up. Impreza rally car. Hey, it's the Impreza rally car from the first game. That's fun and nice. 104 horsepower, huh? Now, if I had taken this car to that race, that would have been considered bad. Bad form, Peter. But, it still probably would have been pretty good. Probably would have kicked some ass. Bet maybe, maybe not. It's not that powerful. Oh dear. Alright. Well, I just dropped the mouse again, as I seem apparently destined to do anytime I try and do one of these LPs on the console there. But, let's look at our prize for a moment. Watch it shimmy and shake and spin and twirl. And hear that there's no information about it. Yeah, so we got that going on, folks. And this will be another car that we can use to go maybe run some rally races, because we still got a couple of those left to win. But until that time, folks, this is Bobo the Vulture. This has been Let's Play Gran Turismo 2. Second half of the enduro, whichever one that was, the Grand Valley 600 kilometer, was it? I don't know. Anyways, folks, I'm tired. It's time to end. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye now.